it's good fun. Days like these are great. You get the whole industry together, and to have, companies and corporations like Interbet and Cape Racing who are so generous with sort of time and energy into making a day like this possible is it's fantastic for everyone.
Well, this preview is going off very smoothly this morning with Sheldon Peters, and that's the way the race meeting goes by, because it's quick and you need to look sharp, especially if you're an exotic player. This will be jackpot 2 races, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 19:21 is the time. Race number 4 over 1400 meters. Sheldon, let's just do something different for the show. Let's give short comments on each runner. Number 1 will be All the Time, Yogus Governor, Jeffrey Seister for the KZN Royals. Fair last start?
Much better effort last time out. A horse who can be slow, he can take a certain type of ride. If things map out from the draw and he confirms that recent run over the 1600, horse for the quartets.
Bend the Rules has won with Gabriel Peterser. That's a plus. The stable's in very good form. A horse that shows natural pace.
Does show natural pace. The drop to the 1400 is quite interesting because there might be a little bit more pace injected in the race, and Bend the Rules from a neat draw is going to be up there. Has only had 4 runs on the turf for a third, so let's see how Bend the Rules goes. I think it's just the races that have come up on the poly.
This horse, Low Como, I think will be a price. Now, the reason I mention that is because in black and white, he doesn't really jump off the page. But then, that last start behind the Bayou, that has won again. Pedro has won. Higher Purpose winning on Wednesday. Form line's looking good for this horse.
And the price is currently 10-1 as we speak. So decent price about Lake Como. One of those horses, when they walk into the ring, will certainly stand out. A nice dark-looking individual with the white markings on the face.
Pedro, Lorenzo Karim has 2 strings to his bow. Do you have a preference for either or you'd give them both a mention?
I'd go with number 2, Bend the Rules, marginally ahead of number 4, Pedro.
Parktown, Gary Richards' string is in good form. Raymond Dennison, well, he's had good success in these GTS race meetings. Fire Lord last time out. Rodriguez coming out to win. I won't leave this horse out of the pick 6. Each
way calculation, the son of dynasties, never far off the action. And you just get the feel this is a horse who's going to run a big race. So I'd definitely throw this into all bets.
Beachers found good betting support last time, Sheldon.
Yes, the money was down like they knew the results. Stayed on strongly in the closing stages. And I think dropping back to the 1400 won't be any concern. They'll go decent pace. And Beachhurst will be finishing like a steam train.
Well, if there's a horse that I'm going to choose as a roving banker in this field, it's going to be Stanley. He's having his first try on the turf at Hollywoodbets Greyville. He's been on the poly track, well, all his runs when he's been at Com Naidu. Joshua Solomon's rides, he's in good form. The form is clear to see. This horse never run a bad race for Com.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that's my first selection. Number 7, Stanley, was an 86 in the ratings, is now racing off a 71. Recent runs have all been on the poly. I think just the program has been on the poly. I think on the turf, got 1 victory on the turf. This is the each way value selection.
Winter Air, he looked like he needed gelding, which he's got.
Yes, he's been gelded, 141 days off the track. I remember calling him that day when he beat Senor Garcia. He absolutely floated past them, and he's obviously been very disappointing. So he's had the unkindest cut and the time to mature.
Well, having a look at the field in summarizing, I think both Sheldon and I agree. It looks like a race that you're going to have to play it wide in the exotics, but if you're looking for one horse to have an each-way bet on as a roving banker in all your bets, it's horse number 7, Stanley.
The betting, the not so much anymore, is more down to my own fault. I need to get studying again to get the edge back. But yeah, it's a great product. I love the exchange. It's really, in my opinion, one of the better bookmakers, if not the best bookmaker out there.